It increases your awareness to everything that you have a tendency to project outwardly. In other words, everything that we have a tendency to criticize on someone else, the fact that we can even see that is because it exists in us. Double click on that for a second. The fact that we're criticizing and not trying to understand or showing empathy and compassion shows that we are addressing it from a place of violence. And it's a micro-violence because you are trying to either control or shame that person because that person is showing a part of themselves that you don't like within your own self. I'm going to break it down a little bit further with some concrete examples. I think the best example that I can use right now for the amount of time we have is with our emotions. Most people don't know how to deal with their own emotions, and they haven't been okay with accepting the emotions that were probably never accepted by your caregivers, from parents to teachers to coaches and up to adulthood. Now, these emotions were also never tried to be understood by these caregivers. So for example, two brothers are fighting and the parent wants to make both brothers stop the fight. Normally, a parent that has not dealt with their own shadow will always attack the child that is demonstrating emotion, but not the perpetrator. And I'm sorry I'm calling these little kids perpetrators, but this is just for the sake of the example, right? So the good kid, the one who gets away with the crime, is normally the one who does not show any emotion. They are the instigators. They know the weaknesses of their brother or sister, and they will poke to it because the other sibling has not learned to control that emotion within themselves. And if anything, the parent is not teaching any child how to control the emotions, but what the parent, because the parent never has done the shadow work, right? So what they do is they tell them, no, you're not supposed to be angry in a very angry way, which is always the double standards, right? It's like, okay, the person in hierarchy can have those emotions and not be penalized by them, but the person that is in a lower ground has very different standards of what is correct and what is not correct. So right there, you get a vision of our entire society. And that's the reason why it's so important to address your own shadows and do the shadow work. How would a person that had done the shadow work try to problem solve the same situation? The parent will react less from a place of judgment, but will actually approach the situation to try to understand both parties. Because if there is a conflict, that means that both parties need a better way of communicating their needs. When you come from a place of wanting to understand, of wanting to empathize, of wanting to see the person as they are, and not shut them down and make them suppress who they are, their honorable feelings, just to maintain a fake sense of calmness in the house when clearly there is a conflict here. We are empowering our children to become better future leaders, future spouses, future friends. And then you talk to the instigator and help them understand, what are you trying to achieve by instigating your sibling? And if they have a method of using manipulative tactics that they may have learned because they saw greater results in doing so, it's your turn to help them understand that there is a method of communication with your sibling without this one outcome. You can still win, you can still achieve what you want to achieve, and enhance an alliance that is stronger, building actually a relationship with your sibling. But in order to do that, you're going to have to communicate differently and not try to manipulate the situation where only you get to profit. And I'm using the word profit for a reason. But if you change your mindset from a very early age, and if you start seeing that a lot of your shadow is there in order to win profit from a relationship, an interaction, or a communication, you will know that that way of being, it's not a sustainable way of living. It will only result in short-term win. So the first step to shadow work is becoming aware of all your projections and becoming observant and vigilant of how you feel. Now that you heard this video, you may not say those things out loud, but you still may feel it. So understand why you're feeling it that way and why is that so bad. For example, why is someone, a child or an adult, expressing emotions in a non-conformist way so bad? If anything, I want to give them space to express and feel safe by expressing it. And then I want to understand further what made them feel these strong emotions. And oftentimes when you approach anyone that way, the person calms down because the person doesn't feel judged by you. So another incentive of doing shadow work is that you become someone who people like to be around you when they're not even having a very good day. So you have to set boundaries. But the main thing is that everyone loves to talk to someone that is not judgmental. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to continue learning about this topic, I give a lot of free information once a week, so please subscribe. Thank you.